What's up, everybody? This is Fred Ricciani of TSC News, here with a quick video blog on the big news that's overtaking the MMA world. The UFC could possibly be sold. It might be in advanced talks of being sold, according to Darren Rovell of ESPN. 4 major groups are currently in the bidding, or reportedly in the bidding for the UFC, and it looks like the UFC's magic number is $4 billion. Now, on the surface, might be good. Maybe they'll get Dana White out of the picture. Nothing against Dana White, but it seems like from the outside looking in, to some people, his actions have been more detrimental than beneficial to the UFC. Maybe the new owners would pay the fighters more. Maybe they do away with this absurd Reebok deal and bring back sponsorships. Because, it's not like soccer or NASCAR is hurt by having a bunch of logos on their stuff. And the guys get paid. But, as the old saying goes, sometimes it's better to do business with the devil you know. And while some people may not like Dana White or Lorenzo Fertitta's approach, at the end of the day, at least you know who you're dealing with. Most of the time, unless you're Conor McGregor and then get frozen out of UFC 200, which sucks. But according to a report, Goldman Sachs, which reps the UFC, has been passing along info to these potential buyers. And presumably these buyers would get a controlling interest of the UFC. I mean, hell, for $4 billion, you better get a damn controlling interest. You better get the whole company. Apparently, UFC is making around $200 to $250 million per year, at least as of last year. And that's before taxes and everything else, which that's a lot of money. And a lot of money, unfortunately, that's not going to the fighters. But, yeah, quite unfortunate. Quite unfortunate. So, anyway, the companies right now that are on the radar are China Media Capital, WME/IMG, which is a gigantic entertainment powerhouse. They rep everybody. They're a major agency, and I'm sure have other aspects of the company that are involved in entertainment in Hollywood. But they rep everybody, including Ronda Rousey, I believe. And I think actually they rep. I don't know if they rep GSP. It might be creative arts agency, but they're pretty damn big. You have the Blackstone Group, which is rumored to not be as interested anymore if you follow Front Row Brian on Twitter. And by the way, I want to give props to Front Row Brian McMahon and Jonathan Snowden, who tweeted about this type of news, tweeted about the possibility of a UFC sale as recently as, I don't know, maybe a year or two ago. So, yeah, Darren Rovell, he's on top of this story. Props to him. But, give credit where credit's due, Front Row Brian and Mr. Snowden. And the Dalian Wanda Group, the latter, which is owned by the richest man in China, Wang Jinlin. Whew. Wow. So, why would the UFC want to cash out now? Makes sense. The Fertittas bought it for $2 million. It can now be worth $4 billion. They seem to want to focus more of their attention on their station casinos, which are doing very well. And, oh yeah, the Raiders could be permanently coming to Las Vegas. Dana White's in Las Vegas. The Fertittas are in Las Vegas. They're already tight with the Athletic Commission. I believe Lorenzo actually served on the Athletic Commission for a little while. Mark Ratner served on the Athletic Commission. And, yeah, with $4 billion, granted before taxes and all this other jazz, you could invest in an NFL team. Now, will their success with the UFC, would that translate to success in the NFL? Yes and no. But on the surface, NFL plus Las Vegas seems to equal a license to print money, in my opinion. And the Fertittas are smart guys. They'd probably surround themselves with football people. At least I'd like to think they would. So, and by the way, the supposed most richest man in China, Wang Jinlin, he is worth $32.7 billion, as Walter White would say, with a B, billion dollars. Wow. So, this is a developing story. We'll see what happens. Dana White's denied this story, but of course he's going to deny this story. I mean, look, there's a potential sale that might go through. He's not going to spill the beans. As for other UFC news, that's not as big, but kind of sad. Anderson Silva got injured. He had a medical operation to remove his gallbladder, and unfortunately he is off the UFC 198 card, and his fight with Uriah Hall is off. Uriah Hall is also off the card. So hopefully the Spider gets better. Get well soon, Anderson Silva. I'd like to see that fight down the road. Kind of a weird fight to make. You think with Anderson Silva being as old as he is, he's not getting any younger. He's getting a bit slower. Why not put him in name fights? Like, I thought the Bisping fight was a perfect fight for him. Even though he lost that fight, it was at least kind of like sort of a bit of a dream match, for hardcore fans, or at least somewhat of a marquee matchup. It'd be nice to see him fight. I don't know, it'd be nice to see him fight like Dan Henderson, but it'd be cool to see him fight, somebody like that, like a Dan Henderson, or if they got Chael Sonnen to come out of retirement, or a Vitor Belfort, somebody of the classic guys, kind of like what Bellator does. Only Anderson Silva's not 100 years old. It'd be kind of cool to see, but I guess maybe they wanted to put Uriah Hall in a position to possibly be a star, or they wanted to put Anderson Silva in a position to beat a guy like Uriah Hall, who is beatable, but also very dangerous. It's unfortunate we won't get that fight, but we still have Chris Cyborg on the UFC 198 card. We still have Jacare taking on Vitor Belfort. And we got Verdum versus Miocic, which could be one hell of a fight. But folks, I'm going to get out of here. I want to hear from you. What do you think about the potential UFC sale? What do you think about UFC 198 and 199 and 200? And of course, 201, which is rumored to be the site of McGregor versus Diaz 2. Assuming that McGregor and Dana White squashed their beef. Dana's saying all the right things publicly, but privately, obviously, things tell a bit of a different story. I want to hear from you. Let me know. Leave a comment below. Tweet us. Facebook us. Do what you got to do. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, take care, and don't forget to subscribe for more MMA videos. And oh yeah, check out our live coverage after the main event of UFC 198 this Saturday night.